Necessity is the mother of all inventions. In 1816, the Frenchman René Laennec invented the stethoscope to save countless lives by revolutionizing heart exams. In 1891, the Canadian-born James Naismith invented the sport of basketball to make sport more fun and less dangerous. Yes, Lakers fans, basketball is a Canadian sport. And in 2024, Robert Bleichwitz, fed up of his rear window that was always dirty on his Ioniq 5, decided to invent this. So what is this? It's the GeckoWiper, a really amazing product with a bit of a weird name that was designed to clean the rear window of the Ioniq 5. Now there are versions for other electric vehicles, and they'll be talked about a little bit later in the video. Now, you want to be sure to watch this video right to the end because we are giving 2 of these away thanks to Robert, the inventor, who sent 2 of them for free for us to test, show, and give away. When you order a GeckoWiper on the website, you get a package like this once it arrives at your place. Now, this product isn't exactly the cheapest, but you have to take into consideration the amount of engineering that went into this, and I'll show you some of the stuff a little bit later. And during this unboxing, it's actually quite impressive. The shipping is for free. It costs 398 Swiss francs, which is 677 Canadian, approximately at the time of this filming, and about 470 US. So, like I said, it's not cheap, but there's a lot of stuff and engineering that went into the actual product. So, let's open this up. I've got my Swiss Army knife. Look at that. Specifically to open this box. Now, this is the shipping package, and the retail package is this right here. Get rid of that. It's okay. He's an engineer, not a marketer. But you see what's inside, so yay. This is the open here side. You peel this little sticker, pop it open, and right side up, and you get this. Basically, he's included a nice little GeckoWiper bag, which you should see right here. And you get a GeckoWiper cloth to clean the rear window. To remove the GeckoWiper, other than this thing that we'll get to later, it's got the magnet in the back. You can see that here. And to peel it off, you have to use a decent amount of force. Set that aside, take out the GeckoWiper, and then the last thing is the actual wiper that's in here. So hopefully you can see that right there, and we'll chuck that as well. So you've got the wiper, the GeckoWiper, the magnet, and the remote controls, and the instructions. Now, these are actually really, really good, by the way. I usually don't read instructions, and if you've seen any of my previous videos, I tend to chuck it aside. But the instruction PDF that he includes on his website and that you can see using this, not only is it a very, very detailed instruction manual, it's got links with QR codes for videos that you could see to show you every single step of what I'm going to show you in the installation of this thing afterwards. So don't chuck this. It's actually worth looking at and reading all of the little details because there are some little things that we'll get to in a second. The remote controls. There are 2 of them. This is the Ioniq 5 one. And set that aside as well. You get this little round version here and the little black version. Both of these have little magnets in the back because in the Ioniq 5, you've got a really nifty little spot that you can put this in the car, and you'll see that in the installation as well. Now in the EV6, you don't have a place to magnetize this, so in the EV6 box, they come with Velcros attached to them, and there's these extra ones that you get in the packaging as well. So nice little detail that was thought of there. This one actually has some glow in the dark around it, and it glows in the dark even in the day. So it's really impressive quality. They are quite nice. And if you can see that on this camera here, they're actually really good. They're a Bluetooth, if I'm not mistaken. They're automatically paired. All you have to do is press the button and hold it for 2 seconds to wake up the device once it's sitting on the car. Now, don't do like me and leave it on your desk and press this button, because the amount of torque in the motor in the GeckoWiper is, let's just say, pretty good. The magnet. Now, the magnet is part of the installation. You've got another magnet in the base of the GeckoWiper, and in the instructions, and I'm gonna say this up front right now, do not put this on your car and then take this and, as it says in the instructions, install it axially. In other words, not like this, because that there is a really strong magnet. I wouldn't want my fingers in the middle of that, because it'd probably hurt or possibly break something, and you will shatter your rear window. There's a tip to install it, and it's in the instructions, and I'll show you that after this portion of the video. So we'll set the magnet aside. And the wiper. Now, the cool thing about this, and I mentioned it a little bit later as well in the installation, it's a very standard Bosch wiper blade. In other words, you can buy this on various sites, either in Europe, the US, or Canada, so you're not stuck buying something from GeckoWiper as a replacement blade. It's pretty standard, and there are compatibles available if you want to try that. I would probably buy the Bosch one because it works really, really well. To install this on the GeckoWiper, you just take this blade. This part here kind of slides forwards and backwards, so slide it forward, place it into here, and then push so that it's flush on the front. Now, once that's on, you're done. And this can be installed in the car. Now, before we get to the installation, there are a few things to note here. The design and the engineering that must have gone into this, it blows me away. Not only is this not terribly heavy, it's got good weight. You could feel the quality. The materials are amazing. It's got an amazing and incredible quality suction cup on the back of this. I stuck this on my car, well, the EV6 one, on my car to use for about a month and a half. This thing is not going to be coming off. It says to check it regularly. I would make sure once a week or two that it's okay, but I have no concerns. With that being said, it doesn't come fully charged. You're going to want to charge this before you install it. There's a little USB port on the side. It's got a rubber grommet that makes it watertight. And you just pull that off, and it's USB-C. Now, in the instruction manual, it says what chargers are compatible with it. It doesn't list a high-powered Samsung charger. I think mine's like 65 watts, but it worked. It charged it much faster than the rates that were listed in the instruction manual, so faster charging, less battery life in the long term, and degradation. But for a first or second charge, I wouldn't be terribly concerned. After that, I would just plug it in overnight, stick it back on the car afterwards. Originally, this was developed for the Ioniq 5, as I mentioned in the intro of this video, but the GeckoWiper has versions for a wide variety of vehicles. Now, some of these are still in beta testing, and one of them is waiting for approval, but there's Model Y, BZ4X, there's a whole bunch of models, and I'll have a list for that up here on the screen for you to see. So you're not just limited to the EV6 and to the Ioniq 5. Ioniq 6 is in there as well, so you can check that out on their website. There's one thing that I didn't mention in this entire portion of the video, and it's the fact, well, there's one thing that makes me really happy. It's the fact that it's not piano black. Because if you've seen any of my previous videos, piano black is the bane of my existence, whether it's in a car, on a car, or on a product like this. So yep, no piano black makes Andre a happy Andre. Now that that's said, and I've closed that back up, you're ready to install this on your car. It's actually quite simple. Let's go see how it's done. To install this, as I mentioned in the unboxing, you have to remove this magnet, obviously. To do so, you have to twist and rotate away. Once you've done that, then you can put it on the car. The top of this is in plastic for the spoiler. Just don't put it magnet side down. And the first step is going to be to clean the rear window. So I'll do that right now. Once you've cleaned it, the instructions are very clear where it says that it's ideal to moisten both the suction cup and the rear window to make sure that it has proper adhesion. So I'm just gonna put a couple spritzes on that, a couple spritzes on that. And then it's a question of alignment. Now, the bottom of the suction cup has to go on the bottom of the window. So that's what I'm gonna do, making sure that it's centered over the Hyundai logo. And that it's nice and straight. Once that's done, All you have to do is press this little pump, and you'll see that not only does the suction cup suck down, but this button gets stuck inside. Once that's done, the first part of the installation is done, and you have to align this rear wiper. So just raise it up slightly, make sure that it also has full range of motion on both sides, and the outside portion of the installation is done. Now, we have to install the magnet, and there is a big warning on the screen for a reason, because the installation of the magnet, well, you can smash your rear glass. Why do I say that? Because this magnet is incredibly powerful. The instructions are very clear. You have to be at least 20 centimeters away from the GeckoWiper that has the other part of the magnet, because if you were to put this straight on axially, like it says in the instructions, it'll snap right up against your rear glass and most likely shatter it into a million pieces. Now, to do this properly, you have to come up on the window, line it up slightly or approximately, and then drag it over, holding firmly because it will pull really hard, and it's in place. Now, not only does that magnet ensure that it stays if the suction cup doesn't fully adhere, but it's a little bit of just overall added security. What about the button? Where does that go? As shown in the unboxing, you get two of these little buttons to activate the GeckoWiper in the back of your car. Now, both of these have a little magnet on the back. Why do they have a magnet? Well, that's because, well, it was originally designed for the Ioniq 5, and let me show you right here. On the dash, you have this nice little spot where you can stick these on the dash without any Velcro. Now, in other models of vehicles, you do have a Velcro that allows you to position a button where you want. You could choose the one that you want to use, and the way to use these buttons is actually quite simple. To wake up the GeckoWiper from its deep sleep mode, all you have to do is press and hold for 2 seconds, and the GeckoWiper will activate with 2 swipes. Final verdict on the GeckoWiper. Do I think this product is worth buying? Well, there are a couple things. The first thing is my personal opinion. The EV6 is a very swoopy and aerodynamic and sleek looking car, and I don't like the way it looks. That's me. I just don't like this little bump sticking on the back of the vehicle. However, that is not why you're buying a GeckoWiper. First of all, when I saw it on the Ioniq 5, I thought it actually looked in place. It's like, oh, it's a hatchback and, well, it's got a rear wiper. That's the way it is. My wife, when she drove this car with the GeckoWiper, thought it was fantastic because it does a really good job of cleaning the rear window. And not only that, Robert's a fantastic engineer because he's packed everything that manufacturers hide inside the rear hatch of a car into this teeny tiny little package of robust materials. So you've got the motor, the electronics, the magnet, the casing, everything. And he's got battery optimization. That this thing has been on my car for a month and a half, 2 months now. I haven't charged it since I put it on my car and charged it the first time. That's really amazing. Great packaging for shipping, excellent shipping service, great sales pre and post service for this product. So yes, you're paying a fair amount of money to purchase this product, but it's well invested. It's a great design that works well. I haven't had it in the winter, but based on the strength of the motor in this thing and the fact that it fits on a wide variety of other cars, based on the model, the wiper length and the arm length are different depending on the model. I think it's going to work well in the winter for light and moderate snow. So what do I think in the end? The GeckoWiper is definitely EV-olution approved. But how do you win one of the 2 GeckoWipers that were given to us by Robert at GeckoWiper? It's actually really simple. You need to put a comment in the comment section below, but hold on, you keyboard jumpers, don't go put any comment in the comment section below. You have to have watched this entire video because you need to tell me what makes Andre the happiest. That's right, if you did skip because you're a skipper, well, you're gonna have to go back and watch the entire video and find out what makes me the happiest. One important note though, like I mentioned, there are 2 versions of the GeckoWiper that I have to give away. One is specifically for the Ioniq 5, the other is specifically for the EV6. So if you put your answer in the comment section below, be sure to put the model of your car because you don't want to get an EV6 one if you have an Ioniq 5 and vice versa. Also, all of the information about this contest are in the description below. So, with that being said, what also makes David and I happy is a subscription. Now, a subscription isn't something that's just there to give us an ego boost, although it's kind of cool. What it does is it tells manufacturers that we're worth considering. Manufacturers like Audi, Porsche, Rivian, Mercedes, these guys like to lend cars to people that have, well, bigger subscriber numbers. And David and I have a 20,000 subscriber goal before the end of this year. So we would really appreciate if you could help us out with that. Another thing that's important, what tells David and I that you like the content that we make, is that little thumbs up. It tells us that you like our videos. It also tells YouTube that you like our videos, and the more likes there are, the more chance there is that YouTube will send it around, and well, it's the circle of YouTube life. More people will see it, and it makes everybody happy. But with that being said, David and I would like to take the time to say thank you for watching our videos.
Tu es très belle. Hein, ma belle?
Wow.
Ah oui, tu es belle. Oui.